Good. Where do you get married at? Ah, okay. Oh, there you go.
Y'all ready to go over there?
I am. You guys ready? Yes, sir. I think we're ready.
Ready, Jason?
That's neat.
Yeah, it was.
Lindsay, let me know. There it is. All right. I show 6 p.m. on my computers. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. City Council regular business meeting for Thursday, September 18th, 2025. It is 6 p.m. Lindsay, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Cool,
Here.
Livingston,
Oh, she doesn't have her mic on. Does she?
Jackie,
can you hear us?
she says, are we still on mute? But we are not.
I have to send her a message.
Doesn't look like she enabled her audio. Right?
Oh, she's connecting to audio now. Okay. Jackie, can you hear us now? Or can you're muted.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
There you go. There you go.
Mike
Here.
and Mayor Phillips.
I'm here too. We do have a quorum, so we'll move on. Isn't technology wonderful? Item number 2 is Pledge of Allegiance. So would you please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item number 3 is approval of the agenda. Would anybody like to move any of the consent agenda items to the regular agenda? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Oops. I got a motion over there. Second. Okay, so motion by Cool, seconded by Meineke. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Motion carries. So we will move on. Item number 4 is welcome of guests and public comment. Thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate you participating in your local government. At this point in time, we'd open the dais for any comment for council, myself, the staff, as far as non-agenda items. Understand we can't take action on anything on any of those tonight because they're not on the agenda, and that would be a violation of open meetings law. We don't want to do that. Also, if you'd like to comment on any item in the consent agenda, now would be the time. So we'll go ahead and open it up. Yeah, please come up, state your name and your address.
Yes, my name is Eric. I'm 818 Gordon Avenue, right behind Public Safety. So based on the picture that he brought up, the easements in our neighborhood, the garages for pretty much everybody, it doesn't match what current law is now. So if there was ever a natural disaster or something like that, none of us would be able to put our garages back in their current location. They would all have to be moved. In my case, my garage has a broken floor. I need to fix it. I would like to actually add on to it at the same time, but with the current laws that we have based on our neighborhood, I can't do that. So that's something that I guess we've done in another neighborhood in town, changed the bylaws to make it so it matches when this area was built.
Yeah.
The second one that kind of is a byproduct of it, most of my neighbors have garages that are actually bigger than their houses and they're detached garages. I would like to build one bigger as well, but there's another law that says that I can't build it bigger than the footprint of my house, which means I can't build what I want. But yet my house is in the green. If you look at my neighbor, the other neighbor, and the neighbor next to me, those houses are bigger than their houses, or their garages are bigger than their houses. So From my understanding, if the garage is attached to the house, it can be as big as it wants, but since it's detached, you can't. I have plenty of lot room. So it kind of, one, the easement, that way I can at least fix what I have. The other, I would like to be able to build bigger than my footprint of my house. So I don't know what that would take, but
Okay.
first I need the easement fixed so I can at least fix what I have.
Yeah.
But.
Okay.
Kind of my.
Mayor, I just add, Eric did come into our office and we kind of walked him through building permit stuff and could he get a variance or not? So variance isn't applicable in this situation either. So we recommended that he come speak to council because a solution would be a bigger zoning change. That would be not just for his house. We didn't feel it was germane for staff to bring it as something for you to consider. So we asked him to come.
So towards the end of the meeting, there's an item that for future agenda items, if the council wants to address this, they can bring it up then and put it on an agenda for discussion at that point in time.
Okay.
If you want to head out and not have to sit through all this boring stuff of the meeting, you feel free and Luke will give you a call to let you know what council decides.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
all right.
It's pretty nice of you. Does that apply to the rest of us?
What's that?
Does that apply to the rest of us or?
Man. Okay, anybody else? For non-agenda items? Okay, hearing none, we will move on.
I might have one. I just wanted to introduce myself.
Come on up. Come on up. State your name, address. Let us know who you are.
A little shorter than he was. I'm Kelsey Porter. I live at 2715 Blooming Heights Drive, just west of the S curve, and I'm running for city council. I got everything submitted yesterday here at City Hall, and I'm super excited. And I just wanted to come and introduce myself to everyone. I've met a couple people here in the room and gotten to know them pretty well. And yeah, so nice to see you all and put faces to names. Nice to see you again. I'm sure you're sick of me today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
just me sitting in on everything. Thank you. I've been on the Parks and Recreation Commission for a little over 2 years. So I feel comfortable in this room, but there's not usually this many people. in this room. So for our, but
All right. Thank you.
thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Item number 5 is consent agenda. Oh, let's see. Can I get a motion to approve the consent? Okay. Anybody want a second? Okay, so motion by Brown, seconded by Baker. All those in favor say, or no. Lindsay, let's call the roll.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. I thought I had my notes up here. I do not, so give me just a second. And we will
You're gonna
get
freeform
going. No, I'm not. I'm going to go by my notes. Okay. Item 6 is old new business for consideration, discussion, and possible action. Item A is a resolution accepting the infrastructure and approving the final plat of Hackney Hills Plat 1. So Hackney Hills is development along Beardsley. Just a heads up to council, I'm kind of changing my normal order of things for this item, so just to let you know. Luke, what do you got?
Yes, so this is plat 1 of the Hackney Hills development. It's part of the Hackney Hills planned unit development that we approved a few years back in 2022. We approved prelim plat and site plans in 23 and 24 for plat 1. The plat has 68 townhomes. It's primarily a townhome plat at this time with one public street, Walsh Avenue, coming into the development, and then private streets for the townhomes. There are outlots for the future condo kind of medium density apartment project in outlot, I believe that's Y or I can't read it on the screen. I guess I can scroll down. And then outlot V is additional townhome development similar to the style that's being built out right next to it. And then the remainder of outlot W is just the rest of the Hackney Hills PUD area. We've reviewed the infrastructure. Tony's gone through that with a walkthrough. There is an issue with a retaining wall adjacent to the detention basin in Outlot X that had a vertical kind of fracture in it, and it sank down. We've talked with Jerry's Homes. They're here today. I can give you a better update on their process to fix that. But that aspect of the site is privately owned and will be privately maintained. So it's not city infrastructure that we would be accepting.
Tony and Wayne, public infrastructure look good?
Yes, we had our final walkthrough on the public infrastructure. There was just really minor items on the punch list. I think most, if not all of those have been taken care of to date. Council has our letter recommended acceptance of the public infrastructure.
Okay. Any public comment?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. I'm Jennifer Ellison with Jerry's Homes, 3900 West Town Parkway, West Des Moines. I'm here along with our engineer this evening. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. I know the retaining wall has been brought up. We do have a plan in place. I expect that to fully be resolved within the next 30 to 40 days, depending on weather. I expect to be done a lot quicker than that, but you know how it's been this summer. Other items have all been taken care of. We're again here to answer any questions if you have any regarding our project.
I would like to know, sorry.
Go ahead.
I would like to know what your plan is, because my understanding is that the wall was put up, had defects, was restructured somehow, has defects again. So I would like to know what your plan is, please.
Thank you, Jackie. We actually are working with our team to come up with a formal plan. We have a general plan in order right now, but we are still working through the details for how we will proceed, which is why it's taken a little bit longer to work on it. But part of it will involve some footings, so we're going to change the depth of the footings there in that particular location.
Any other public comment?
I had a question too, I guess, if I could real quick. Recently we had a really heavy rainstorm. And there were some drainage issues that carried through to the residences on the other side of the road there. What's your opinion? Has that been pretty well resolved, or?
So that matter has been all hands on deck. I know through the summer, we've had quite a bit of rain, historic rain events, actually. I think that we've had a lot of coordination with Jerry's Homes, as well as our team of contractors and the DNR. We've done what we can to this point. We are still resolving any of the sediment that made its way to the neighboring property. And that's been a process that is continuing to be discussed with them and worked out.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so as indicated, there's a retaining wall that's there. That retaining wall in the middle has sunk and so has failed. That retaining wall is just above a stormwater detention area. That whole area is private. However, the water from the detention area flows down and into Lake Colchester. So there's going to be sediment and silt going down there unless this is addressed. You can see just below the retaining wall where there's some shift to the ground, to the dirt down towards into the bottom of the detention pond. I think if council would approve this before the retaining wall is fixed and there's houses there and something happens, I think that you're going to hear from the residents, why did council approve this when they knew that there was an issue? Also, I think if you would happen to approve it and we still continue to see silt going down into Lake Colchester, the Lakewood Rec District's going to come to council and complain about that as well. And I don't blame them. It takes a lot of money to get the silt, out of the lake. So because of the situation with the retaining wall and with the detention pond, even though they are on private property and they're private, I would like to see council consider tabling this item until the retaining wall has been repaired and everything seems to be fixed. So I will give it to council at this point in time.
I not only want to see, there's just too many, we're still working on issues for me. I'm not opposed to tabling it, but in addition to the wall, I also want some progress on a resolution to the silt that's already been released. Yeah, there's way too much that implicates city issues for me to want to go forward today.
What other questions or comments does council have?
I'm not sure how this follows in, but how would you give them a clear letter of recommendation when we still have all of these issues? I'm not sure if they're related or how they're not related.
Well, they're semi-related. That's a good question. But my letter has to do with the review of the public infrastructure.
Okay, all right, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I got a question for Jim, I guess. And that is, in this issue here. Since that's private, property and private. Let's say that we approve this thing tonight, right, and voted it through. Would we have any kind of a handle at all for causing the repair and proper situation on that private stuff?
Clearly, right now is your best handle on approving it. I think with the wall, you would still have some handle on it in that wall is in backyards of properties that they're gonna want building permits and occupancy permits for in the future.
Right.
And as a result, I think there would be some control where the city would have over that part of it.
Yeah.
Where they could say, you're not getting a permit until that's secure or taken care of.
Sure.
Because as I understand, that wall needs to be built in order to meet slope limitations for the backyard and to meet meet building codes on those slope requirements. So by having a wall, they could have a flatter backyard. So I think you would have a little bit of a handle on it at the time of building permit or occupancy permit if it were to.
That's much messy.
Right. It's messy, yeah.
Yeah, it's messy anyway.
Well, I think, Mayor, I'm not unhappy with Jerry's Homes in that, I think they've done a reasonably good job of trying to, correct the situation, work with it. I just wish it was already corrected. Yeah. So, I think I share your feelings that, we should wait with this until we have that corrected and then take a look at it. Because, it's not gonna get better for us until that's done, I don't think.
Right. You have a comment?
Hi, Melissa Hills, Civil Engineering Consultants, 2486th Street in Des Moines. I just did want to make a comment regarding the silt leaving the site. We did have basically rain event after rain event in July that caused some of the silt fencing and things to fail. And I think every project that I had this summer had that same issue because as soon as they replaced the silt fences, they were filling up and failing again. Now that rain period is over and all of our stuff is being stabilized and silt fences are in place and sediment structures are in place, there shouldn't be any sediment at all leaving the site.
Okay.
That's all been taken care of and been tidied up. So I just wanted to make that point that that's been handled.
Okay, thank you.
Luke Paris, staff recommends approval. And the only conditions were those 2 bullet points in here.
Correct. The way we've looked at it is it being a private thing that, we certainly thought through the process of, well, what do we do if we hold it up and it and it's fixed prior to approval. Really, at the end of the day, this plat could have came forward without it, the basin being formalized, and would have been built out as part of the site plan at some point in the future. It's just the mechanism at which we brought this whole thing forward with a prelim plat and site plan together that showed a private improvement as part of it. It causes this issue to be known right now to us at a point in time when you guys can table or approve a final plat if you want. So we just kind of tried to pull back and say, look, the public stuff is good. We believe we've got mechanisms with the building permits. If for some reason it didn't get fixed, we could hold those up. Frankly, if it could get fixed in the 30 to 40 day period and have another issue next spring, and we will hold building permits up because of that, right? Like it's, so in my mind, they're kind of similar, but also different enough that we were comfortable from staff saying you could go ahead and approve it.
Because there'd still be a mechanism to deal with the fail.
Correct. But also totally understand the points y'all are making. You know, we certainly have rationalized back and forth between it.
I
So
don't understand it. Just kidding.
What would be the effect on Jerry's homes if we did table?
Jennifer Ellison again with Jerry's Homes. So at this point in the project, our goal is really to get our conduit installed and get mid-am in. It does take about 5 weeks once you get on their schedule from plat approval to be able to get them in there to install. You're running up against a winter deadline, and so that's very important to us. As far as buildings go, we want to accomplish the same thing as you. We want to be successful with our retaining wall. We want to make sure everything's done properly, which is why we're taking our time on it. It is a private improvement, so it's not necessarily required for the plat approval, but we want to take our time, do everything effectively. We don't want any other issues. We really want it to be successful. I would recommend or suggest, maybe there's a condition where you don't issue permits on that northeast side or that northwest side of the site until the retaining wall is complete. We would be perfectly okay with that if that's something that you would all be, willing to consider this evening.
Next time, just refer to yourself as JE. Come up, just JE.
Yeah, I'm not, for my part, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable telling the community, telling other developers, telling anybody that the current state of the project is acceptable. I appreciate that this is a private part, but it has a direct relation to city stormwater and city infrastructure. And I am not willing to be coerced or encouraged or otherwise cajoled into agreeing to approve something that there are still way too many questions for. I understand we could address this at a later time. I don't understand why we would do that. It's before us now. This is an issue that is prevalent now. And I appreciate we're coming up on the end of the season. This has been a project that's been going on for a long time. So I don't really understand why we're still trying to figure out how they're going to address this problem when they've had, the wall's been going up or engineered for a considerable amount of time. So I understand. We had a lot of rain. It happens all the time. So the fact that we had a ton of rain and there were issues everywhere does not make me feel any better about the situation. In fact, maybe causes me a little more concern, because every year at some month, some week, almost, we have too much rain. So I'm just, my position is that we should not approve this tonight. We should, if it goes forward, fine, I will vote against it and we'll see what happens. If it doesn't go forward, I agree that it should be tabled.
Other questions from council?
I might have missed it, but how does this affect you if we would delay it till it was fixed?
JE. Uh, okay,
Yeah.
so as part of the construction process, you have to go through and get your proper approvals from the cities, including the final plat. With Mid-American Energy in a lot of cities, they're not able to get their permits approved to move in to start installing electric. In this case, it's an all electric
It's Mid-America
install.
primary.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
it delays us. We're not looking at doing any building on the northwest side this fall, but we'd like to get started on the northeast side. This project has been going on a long time, and it would be great to get some buildings up. You know, we're doing all the work, stabilizations happen. I don't know what else we're waiting for. The private improvements are ongoing, so that's something we'll continue to work through. Understand the concern, but we are working towards it.
And there's no more discharge of dirt.
No, it caught us at a bad time during construction, actually. And the amount of rain we had and the storms were pretty historic, actually. I heard reference to 1953 as the last time we had that amount of rain in that short window of time in Iowa. So I think the timing was just horrible when it hit. I'm glad we had our basins in, but we have since resolved all of that, other than we're still working with the neighbor. That's more of a private property matter though, not a city issue, I don't believe.
I think I'm fine with moving ahead with it, with the condition that was asked for.
That no building permits are.
Yeah, issued on
until-
that side or wherever that's affected until it's addressed.
I'm kind of with you on that, because that Mid-American, you just don't know when they're gonna show up. That's a
That's
big
true.
problem. You know,
Big
but-
delay.
yeah, they could be, you probably have more influence over them, maybe, maybe not. But they just show up when they feel like it. Not putting them down, but they're busy and they get around to it. So if it's delayed, this is the delay you, so.
Delays are.
Mayor, just as a point of communication, I've heard some directions northwest, northeast. When you're saying to hold back any permits on the northwest side, have I drawn a box in the right spot?
No,
northwest
as well.
Yeah, north is,
Keep going up.
north is
About west of
on the
Will.
west side. It would be lots 21 through 74 on that plat.
All around outlot here.
Outlot
Where is that?
Outlot V.
What?
B,
Where's the retaining?
Right there, this right there. That's what-
By outlot X.
I think it's throwing everybody off that
Right here.
north is on the
North
left
is
side
on
of the screen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
That's what's
And
true.
behind that.
The retaining wall is along outlot X.
Okay.
Yep, I think so. I just want to make sure we're all looking at the same.
Permits will be limited.
There we go.
Those,
Okay.
is that what you're agreeing to, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're working. JE, we are working on the wall, so I'm not concerned if you wanted to do all of them to the west, but certainly the units that would be adjacent to that retaining wall, I think that would be just the best opportunity to put a condition on an approval would be for those units, and we would not proceed on those until everything has been completed. And I guess I would suggest that within 72 hours of completing that wall, we would reach out to the city to confirm that, provide photos, and maybe in 72 hours after that, the city can confirm the wall's completed, and then they could approve that condition has been met.
Where's the wall?
Right there below that.
this is Beersley, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So don't we, if we approve this with an exception, then doesn't it have to come back before city council?
I don't, you've done conditions before that allow, you authorize staff to make a judgment call if that condition has been met.
And okay,
So let me ask you a question.
Have we already issued occupancy permits for any of those things up in that area?
No,
No, there's nothing there.
no
So
building.
there's nothing standing there yet.
Yeah.
Haven't started. So all of the lots that are in outlot U or that are in the red box all dump water in are gonna be dumping their stormwater into that detention pond, correct? But the lots that are in outlot Y or outlot S do not, correct?
So all of the lots west of Welch will dump into that pond except for the lots south of Pasofina Lane. Will actually go to a different pond.
The wells right down here go down there.
The lots 65 through 74.
Correct.
So the red box.
I'll see if I can redo that red box.
Working on your drawing skills here.
Would it be easier to say it's gonna be done in 90 days or something like that? Or is that too much of a?
I think the condition is good. The response time is a little bit, probably a little bit brief because I think once you say it's done, the city, we have to go through the inspection process. I know that we probably have to schedule it with our city engineer and, you know, laying out, you have 3 days to do it and, is pushing it a little bit. But certainly we'll respond within a reasonable amount of time. Yeah.
You're saying it's going to be 5 weeks before, possibly 5 weeks before Mid-American can get in there to start laying electric. Are you going to be, you're not going to be putting in foundations before that, are you? So if we do the condition on the entire red box that's there to say no building permits on those, because those are the lots that are dumping into that particular detention pond. You should, and you get on to actually fixing the detention pond and the retaining wall, you should be able to get all that done within 5 weeks before Mid-American gets finished, correct?
JE here again. I do believe that we can get it done. I just am hesitant because of the weather. Again, we had rain this week. It makes me nervous, keeping that window short. Our team is ready to go. They want to proceed and get that work accomplished. I don't have an issue with the area in red. We are not going to be doing any foundations there. A point of clarification on the northeast corner, so the opposite side of Welsh, we would want to start foundations there, and we would potentially start before Mid-Am has all the electric installed out there.
There's a detention pond just below them though, is that correct? So it's a second one. There's one on each side of Welsh, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
And it's working.
and that looks like it's working fine.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that there would be a motion to approve the resolution amended to exclude the red box there for building permits,
Whatever that is.
whatever that is. For building permits until the detention pond has been correct. The wall. And the wall.
The wall. Yes.
The retaining wall and the detention pond.
Yeah, 'cause that's a real serious stormwater issue for us, especially with the lake down there.
Right.
So, that will be in perpetuity until that's repaired, right?
Correct.
If you want to be more specific, it's lots 21 through 64 is the red area.
Okay. Let's do that.
Next, so I was gonna suggest for language, you know, to identify the lots or area tributary.
Okay,
Yeah.
so lots 21 through 64 cannot have a building permit until the retaining wall has been repaired. And do you want to say and inspected by city, by the
Yeah.
city
Yeah.
to make sure it's,
Well, but that's be very to our satisfaction.
Okay.
With our inspection.
all right.
So move.
Second.
Okay, so I got a motion by Baker, second by Brown. Any further discussion?
Wonder how long it would be till they develop that area anyway.
At least 5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Lindsay, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
No,
Minneke,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, that motion carried. All right. Okay, moving on. Item 6B is a public hearing regarding the 50th Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Project. We'll open up public hearing at 6:34 PM. So there's several areas on 50th Street that are going to be rehabilitated. Need some work. Wayne, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I wrote in the agenda statement, 50th Avenue was constructed in 2008. So it is 17 years old. It's performed well, but it is at a stage where we need to do some work on it. There'll be some patching, street patching, crack sealing, and then the bulk of the project will be correcting the joint faulting. When you drive out there, you feel a thumping when you're driving down the roadway. Majority of the project work will be focused on resolving that. When they get that resolved, they'll grind down the pavement to have it a smooth driving surface. I would just speak all my things now for the other two items. We did receive 2 bids. We knew we wouldn't get a lot of bids because the diamond grinding is a specialty. We did receive a favorable bid from a contractor in Minnesota. Both has reviewed it. They're recommending award. And it sounds like they want to have a pre-con next week and get started right away.
Okay. All right. Lindsay, have we received any written or oral comments on this?
We have not.
Any public comment? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing at 6:35 PM. Item 6C is a resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the 50th Avenue pavement rehabilitation project. So we just had a public hearing for this project, and this is the first of 3 resolutions needed to get the project launched. Council passed a resolution that approved the preliminary plan specs, form of contract, and estimate for the rehabilitation. This resolution is the final approval for all of those. Wayne, what do you got?
Nothing else?
All right, any discussion or questions from council or public comment?
Motion.
Never heard of it. Second.
Okay, motion by Livingston, seconded by Baker. Lindsay, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6D is a resolution awarding contract for the 50th Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Project. So this is the second of 3 resolutions needed to start the project. This resolution awards the contract to Diamond Surface Incorporated for $870,458.85. Wayne, anything else to add?
No, sir.
All right, any discussion or comments from council or public comment?
I'll just say, it's nice that engineers come in and then it was lower than that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes. All right. Anything else?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Baker, seconded by Minneke. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6E is a resolution approving the contract bond for the 50th Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Project. So this is the third and final resolution to get the project rolling. This resolution approves the contract and indicates how the city is going to pay Diamond Surface Incorporated for their work. Wayne, anything else?
No, sir.
Any questions, comments, discussion from council or public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion?
Motion. Second.
All right, motion by Minneke, seconded by Baker. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Minneke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6F is a public hearing regarding the 2025 street rehabilitation project. So we'll open up public hearing at 6:38 PM. This project is going to address several problem areas on High Road, Cherry Parkway, and Echo Ridge Trail. Wayne, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, sir. This is an annual type of project we put out annually. It's PCC patching and also HMA patching and overlay. We did receive 7 bids on this project, which is normal. We usually get a lot of bidders on these types. The PCC patching on High Road will be west of the highway. Cherry Parkway, the budget only allowed to do a small section of it between High Road and Richard George. Echo Ridge Trail will receive HMA patching and then an HMA overlay as well. The low bidder is Brothers Concrete. We've not worked with them. Locally, Urbandale has worked with them a lot the last few years. They've had great luck with them. I've also heard of some negative experiences with West Des Moines. But they were able to get a bond, or their bid was responsible, came in under estimate. So at this time, we don't have a reason to not award it to them. Like I said, they got a favorable reference from the city of Urbandale. They've done millions of dollars of work there the last 2 years. So
All right. Lindsay, have we received any oral or written comments on this?
We have not.
Okay, any public comment? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and, go ahead.
Hey.
Come on up.
Yeah. Eugene Chelsea, 1506 Holly. Question on that, they're gonna be doing road work and sidewalks along High Road.
I don't think sidewalks, just.
there'll be some ped ramp improvements at the
Okay.
intersections. Yep.
Yeah, cause I had some markings on my sidewalk.
Okay.
I asked Wayne about it, but he didn't know anything, so.
Huh?
About 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah, we may not have the project design then, yeah.
But the surveyor had been, and I was
Okay.
wondering what was going on.
Yeah, so pedestrian ramps, to get it down.
But now this isn't something that the homeowner's gonna have to, it's gonna be out of the regular budget.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Wayne, Eugene didn't mean generally that you didn't know anything. I think it was just on that question.
Any other public comment?
Motion.
Oh, no. We're still on public hearing. No. Okay, so I'll go ahead and close public hearing at 6:40 PM. Item 6G is a resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the 2025 street rehabilitation project. So just had a public hearing on this project, and this is first of 3 resolutions needed to get the project launched. Council passed a resolution that approved the preliminary plan, specs, form of contract, and estimate for this street rehabilitation project. This resolution is the final approval for all of those. Wayne, what do you got? Anything else?
Nothing else.
Okay, any discussion, questions for council or public comment?
Motion.
Thank you. Okay, so I got a motion by Livingston, seconded by Meineke. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Lindsay, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6.8 is resolution awarding contract for the 2025 street rehabilitation project. This is the second of 3 resolutions needed to start the project. This resolution awards the contract to Brothers Concrete for $533,981.40. Wayne, anything else to add?
No, sir.
All right, any discussion, questions from council, public comment? They want to make.
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Livingston, seconded by Brown. I'm just gonna have Lindsay please call the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6I is resolution approving the contract and bond for the 2025 street rehabilitation project. This is the third and final resolution needed to get the project rolling. This resolution approves the contract and indicates how the city is going to pay Brothers Concrete for their work. Wayne?
Nothing else.
All right, discussion from council or public comment? I get a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Minneke to approve the resolution, seconded by Brown. Lindsay, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6J is a resolution initiating an amendment to the Norwalk zoning ordinance to conduct amendments related to gates and barriers. So we have a few businesses that would like to put up some sort of fencing or gates to prevent people from using their parking lots during off hours. Our code doesn't currently address this, so we're going to ask our planning and zoning commission to look into this and possibly recommend a zoning change to council. So Luke, take her away.
Thank you. Yes, so we've had a couple proposals recently for gates and then a barrier. They're similar but different. A gate obviously can be closed and opened and allow access. Barriers would tend to be a little bit more permanent at blocking things off. I included in your staff report some of those current requests as well as some existing areas. Right now, when you look at the zoning code for any information about this stuff, it's pretty blank. It doesn't say anything. So talking with Jim and with our fire staff, we wanted to bring something to city council to say, hey, we think we need to be overt in saying what the city wants related to these two issues. Right now with code, we have in the past, and we would continue to allow a gate or barrier be put up in certain instances. We do have fire code stuff that talks about what needs to happen there. So as long as something met that and the fire could give approval to it, we would allow them. That would go, as I've thought through it, all the way from a single family home. If somebody wanted to do a kind of gated off house, I don't see anything in code that would tell us that they can't do that. We would probably just treat it like a fence. All the way up to, some of the examples. Now we have mini storage, very common example of something that wants to be secured, is fenced off all the way around, has a gate. I would not be surprised at future industrial uses that we might have similar things. So what we're really looking for here is a little guidance on, if you decide to initiate this, which direction council would want to go. When and where should gates be allowed? When and where should barriers be allowed? And should there be any aesthetic requirement for that? As again, right now, it could just be a chain link fence that slides open and closed, and there's nothing in zoning code that tells me you couldn't do that. You could go all as far as saying you want some kind of fancy metal automatic thing that censors things. I don't know that we would go that route, but the door's wide open as far as you would like to kind of direct us. It's a little bit different than normal initiation, where we are asking for a little bit of input so that we can craft something that kind of goes in the right direction from council. I mean, I guess alternatively, you could say, don't allow this anywhere. We would then craft that to reflect that direction as well.
So for clarification, Luke, are you asking for us to give you that direction now? Or is this just a vote to send it to P and Z?
Yes, we'd like some direction now so we can write the appropriate ordinances to take to P and Z. And I would note, we do have a couple of the applicants. Dr. Cook with the Iowa Hearing Center is here tonight, as well as Dan Wood representing Marketplace Townhomes. No one from Providence Christian School could be here tonight. I don't believe anyone that I recognize in the audience from there. But I asked them to attend tonight if you want to hear any input from them about their reasoning why they want to do what they've requested or that. So they're here if you want to hear from them as well.
So just for the audience, can you give a definition between a gate and a barrier?
Sure. So a gate would be something that can close temporarily and prevent access at certain times, but then open up. Barriers would be like bollards that would prevent movement through a space. So think of the barrier type stuff as like at the entrance to Walmart or Target, there's usually things that prevent somebody from their vehicle going run away and driving into the store, right? Like that'd be a common space that you'd see barriers. The request we have tonight that we've recently got from Marketplace Townhomes is concern from those townhomes with a private drive that connects to the Pizza Ranch, and trying to kind of restrict some movement from those restaurant users through their townhome neighborhood. So that's kind of a whole different thing. A situation like that could be resolved with a gate that would be more intermittently used and left down more frequently. But what they've proposed right now would be some kind of bollard scenario that would block that off. Another example that we do have here in town that Luke Nelson has pulled up was a fence that somebody put up across that to stop that movement from the Dollar General into their apartment parking area. I don't love, just from a staff level, seeing that stuff happen, because we tend to want to have that connectivity. But also understand that property owner wanting to protect the wear and tear of their own property from users that likely don't live there. I mean, there's 8 apartment units in that complex. I'm sure the wear and tear on that drive was much more great from the commercial traffic moving through there than the residential. So trying to be understanding of those scenarios. And I think really with the barrier where we would want to land is probably being a little more restrictive from a staff perspective. I know I've talked with fire about the barrier issue. You know, that prevents access, right? So if we did allow them, we would really have to rely on our fire department to say, yeah, it's allowed in this area because we can still access, right? In the situation with the 8 apartments, that's a low number of townhome or low number of dwelling units that they don't have a concern over that access. If you put a fence up and blocked off all the houses down on the end of Legacy, right? You know, that's 300 homes. They would obviously not like that. So.
Yeah, but a fire truck would go right through that fence.
Yeah, but not without damage.
From one side, yes.
Well, when I look at how, Ed, you okay? You good, Ed?
I hope so, Mayor.
Okay. I mean, it's a gorgeous fence, but it seems to me that we should have some criteria around the look of things.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a little fence by that townhomes up over by the Legacy Golf Course that was a private road, but people were using it like a public road?
There is another one on Park Place. I don't think it's a fence. I was gonna say, I thought those were bollards. That was probably the first scenario where we had kind of competing folks, and really like that whole situation is influenced how we handle private developments since that point, because we work hard not to allow that scenario to happen again in the future. So,
Because those are 2 competing private. There's two private pieces of the street there, so. Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to some kind of structured requirements. I think that it's probably appropriate that there be, I think since we already have them, there should be some regulation. I think it's appropriate that some places may have them. I would really like to prevent, I know we've already addressed this kind of scenario, but I'd really like to prevent something like that in this picture. So I'm all for it. I guess my difficulty in giving you direction is, I don't know. I think, a fence around a storage facility versus a fence for a private road versus a fence for a specific neighborhood. Those are all different scenarios to me. And I don't know that I want there to be only one type. The fence that Luke showed originally between the Dollar General lot and the apartment is horrible. I appreciate that it was the resolution they could come up with, but that's horrible. So certainly I don't want something like that, but I don't know that, the gate that swings closed, like to prevent people from going on certain highways when the snow's bad, right? I don't know that that's really the right solution either. So I'm all for it. I just don't know how to guide you.
yeah, I think, just yes, that we want to go a direction of putting in some regulations, and that it's a thing that in general, we're okay with properties being able to do. I think that's kind of the main what I'm trying to get out of this. If you didn't want to do it, then we obviously would write something completely different. So
Yeah, I'd like stuff to look good, and not like that fence. And also like, I don't wanna, I get a little bit concerned about, okay, hogging parking lots. So if the goal is like, and I don't know if this has anything to do with Iowa Hearing Center, but like, people are gonna come to the Sunset Lounge. I don't want them parking in my parking lot and walking over there or something like that. I'm not saying that that's what would be going on. I don't know. But I don't really want to go down that road either. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Because
mean,
that issue already is happening, Jason. It's not between Ira Hearing, it's between Sunset and El Dorado.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't, it's right, that's a private issue, and I don't think they're being good neighbors to each other, but
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying.
Well, I think we should look into doing this, and the two things that I would recommend to consider: aesthetics and public safety. And then I would suggest that the staff rate codes from other metro areas.
Yeah.
And, you know, see what they can come up with from there and bring it back to us to look at, working along with, you know, P and Z.
I think the yellow post in the middle of the street, nothing screams poor planning.
Oh.
More
Oh.
than that.
Well, no, that retainer wall, I mean, the private.
now that-
fence,
This is a brand new street with yellow poles in it that obviously somebody, you had one job and it's one of those.
Yeah. Oof.
I remember when that happened.
Dr. Cook, Iowa Hearing Center, 1228 Sunset Drive, future residents of 1421 Sunset Drive. So a lot of this came from us as well. Because first and foremost, when we went through our site plan review process, part of that process is submitting it for fire code review. And so we have had discussions with the fire department about that gate, as well as access and safety in the case of an emergency. However, this property, we do not, it's such a small parcel, we don't even have 150 feet. So we are exempt from some of those requirements because of our close proximity to those public access roads. Not to mention, our fire hydrant is located in the northeast corner, so it's much more feasible for that fire apparatus to do its thing on High Road versus trying to get into that shared road, which we were forced to do because of the agreement between the city of Norwalk and the Iowa DOT. We were not allowed to use the residential driveway in place because changing it to a commercial use triggers the change of use policy in that agreement. And it has to be 150 feet from the nearest intersection, which again, it's a small parcel, does not qualify. We had proposed an entrance on High Road, which was declined by council. So Plan C was to have that shared access way. I have spoken at length with the tenants of the northernmost portion of 1409 Sunset, which houses both the Sunset Lounge as well as Norwalk Salon and Suites. They are already experiencing significant parking issues. Not to mention the fact that when Sunset Lounge constructed that patio up front, that eliminated 3 additional parking stalls. I have photos that I'm happy to share with you that on a Friday and Saturday evening, that parking goes that property for 1409 extends all the way behind those 2 residential properties and kind of loops around into the alleyway. It then overflows onto High Road. So I do appreciate, yes, I want to share. As a former teacher, I'm all about sharing is caring. But when we talk about the number of dollars that is going into this property, we're talking millions of dollars of equipment, construction, economic development, that it is my first and foremost priority to protect that property. When talking about emergencies, all of my equipment is required to be calibrated on an annual basis. So the chances of something like that spontaneously combusting versus the chances of someone who's had a good time at Sunset Lounge, parks in my parking lot, smokes a cigarette, off it goes. That's a much higher prevalence rate that I'm much more concerned about. I had forwarded Luke some pictures and some examples that both my civil engineer, myself, and my architect had gone through and had kind of spoken about before. First and foremost, the simplest one is up at the top, which is 2 bollards and a chain that can go anywhere from 4.5 feet to 65 feet in length.
Then a secondary option is I guess we'll call that the wing gate. A really good example of that, it's very aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't even have to be locked. If we're worried about access, that is something that can simply be pushed open, but it does create a physical barrier. In speaking with the owners, again, of Norwalk Salon and Suites, and El Dorado, building officials of the city had said, well, you can put up no parking signs, towing, things like that. It is not effective at all. I really worry about special holidays like St. Patrick's Day, where that corner just turns into a parking nightmare. And so this is an example here of that wing gate down off Army Post Road for Electrical Products Incorporated. This is one of the proposals that we're setting forth for aesthetics, that it is not prohibitively expensive as a property owner to install, but it does check all of those boxes.
One thing I did want to mention, the agreement that we have with the DOT, that we did that traffic study along Highway 28, and it was an access agreement. That really is rooted in public safety too, just making sure that traffic interactions aren't negative or don't cause a safety issue, but that is very valid point.
Directly impacted.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm in support of this. I feel like we've gone a little bit far afield of, are we going to direct this to be forwarded to P&Z? I feel like this is more of a, this is my property, what are you going to let me do issue, not a general, are we going to allow this kind of thing issue? So.
Understandable. And I also had pulled up information from West Des Moines that talks about these types of issues. In Des Moines, it's based on the purpose of that barrier as well, just to try and, because I didn't know what that looked like either. So just try to get resources for that.
And I appreciate that, Doctor. I guess my point is, I think this is a premature discussion.
Yeah. But Jackie, I'll say it helps me understand like what's a rationale for a particular request. So that's why it's helpful for me to listen. And I feel like the beginning of what you said, we need to ask you to be on P&Z. Because I have
That's not the first time I've ever
no idea how you recited all of that from memory. And I'm kind of being semi-serious about that. So.
I just like to do my homework.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any further discussion with council or public comment? Anybody want to get a motion? Do you have all the information?
I was going to say,
I feel like I have good direction.
Are we helpful?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when I bring you something you don't like, just remember, I thought you were good. So.
All right. So can I get a motion to approve resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Brown, seconded by Meineke. Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Livingston,
Yes.
Meineke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yeah.
Brown,
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, motion carries. Okay, item 6K, resolution accepting infrastructure and approving the final plat of Shadow Creek Estates Townhomes Plat 4. So Shadow Creek, it's another area along Beardsley, right next to the area that we were just talking about earlier. Luke, I'll let you take it from here.
Yep. So this is for the final plat of the last set of townhomes in the Shadow Creek Estates Townhomes development. They are along Prater Place and Brocken Place. There is a total of 36 townhomes. They'll be of the same style that are out there currently. Sorry, let me get back to my staff report. The buffer, I remember we had during our last approval, we wanted to make sure that the buffer of that area was continually maintained and up to date, and with a little bit, well, even rainier weather than normal, we've gone out and done planting counts of that buffer, and they still meet the original landscape plan for that area. So there were not any additional buffer plantings needed. So happy to take any other questions.
Wayne, how's infrastructure look?
Recommended for approval.
Tony, you agree?
Agree, we had our final walkthrough, everything looks good. Remember that public infrastructure on this is water and sewer, private streets.
Okay. All right, questions and discussion from council?
How's the stormwater been off of that property?
Yeah, I don't believe we got any concerns with that area as far as runoff from it. It's relatively small and there's a lot of existing development around it. So I didn't see anything and hadn't have anything brought to my attention as far as deficiencies, but we'll continue to stay on top of it.
Does some of that drain into that one small retention basin?
I believe the area drains to, it would either, and maybe Tony remembers, it's gonna either go to that one or I don't know that it goes north, but yeah.
Okay.
Is it this one or this one?
It is, yeah, it's one of those. I'm not 100% sure with plat 4 back there at the back, the south part of those townhomes. So part of that could go to the south one, but it does go to one of those two. And the difference with this one is that plat 4 area is very small area that was disturbed for that plat, so most everything in this subdivision is stabilized and was stabilized through the rain events that we had. So
thank you.
Yeah, this is kind of a bad picture. It was when all that dirt had been moved. Most of that has vegetation on it now.
correct, yeah, so yeah, that's a older area for sure.
Any other questions? Or public comment? Can I get a motion to approve the resolution?
Motion.
Well, huh? I'll let you decide, Lindsay. Is it
Got it.
Cool and Brown?
Yeah.
And then would you call roll?
Yep. Councilmember Minneke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6L. It's a second reading of an ordinance amending the Norwalk City Code to adopt a zoning amendment related to accessory dwelling units. So due to state legislation, we need to make a change to our zoning ordinance. At our last meeting, we had a public hearing and the approval of the first reading. Luke, you got anything to add?
We did update the ordinance to reflect the special use process for setbacks. So we set the setbacks as meeting the principal building setbacks as standard, and then prepared a language that allows it to be a special use permit for lesser setbacks.
Okay. Any discussion or questions from council or public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the second reading?
Motion. Second.
Okay, motion by Brown, seconded by Minneke. Lindsay, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Baker,
No.
Brown,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6M. It's a second reading of an ordinance amending chapter 53, open burning regulations within the city limits of the city of Norwalk by amending sections 53.022 and 53.033 of the Norwalk Municipal Code. So this is a change to recreational fires within the city limits. New language requires the recreational fire to be at least 10 feet away from a structure, which allows for good buffer to prevent a fire from spreading. And it restricts the use of building materials in recreational fires due to the potential release of toxic chemicals used in those building materials. And at our last meeting, we had a public hearing on this and adopted passed the first reading. Jeremy, anything to add?
Nothing.
All right. Any discussion or questions from council or public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the second?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Livingston, seconded by Minneke. Lindsay, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6N is a second and possibly final reading of an ordinance amending section 41.12 of the Norwalk Municipal Code to conform fireworks regulations to Iowa Code section 727.24. So due to a change in state law, We need to make a change to our fireworks ordinance. The change is to further limit use to only certain days within the state permitted dates and times. So this new law will allow detonation on July 3rd, July 4th, and December 31st with expanded hours on each date. At our last meeting, we had a public hearing on this item and they passed first reading. Jeremy, you got anything to add?
No, sir.
Jamie, you got anything to add?
No.
Okay,
Tom, do we need to like leave this open in case they move the minutes? You know, on these dates? Like
no,
by 1 or 2 minutes, do we need to?
I think the state legislature will, it's gonna be a while before they do that. So
Okay.
we should probably go ahead and adopt it and wait for
Great.
them to make any changes.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
all right. Any other discussion or questions from council or public comment? Can I get a motion to
Motion.
approve the second reading?
Motion.
By Cool, seconded by Baker. Lindsay, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yeah.
Brown.
For the same reasons Brian said no earlier, no.
Okay. Motion carries. Can I get a motion to waive the third reading?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Cool, seconded by Minneke. Lindsay, would you call a roll?
Councilmember Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 7 on the agenda is future agenda items. So the purpose of this item is for council to give direction to staff by way of motion to have items placed on future agendas. It's not for the discussion of merits or of the subject matter. It's just to get it on an agenda so we can discuss. Any future agenda items for tonight? Such as the change in the garage setbacks that the gentleman here discussed earlier.
My first house in Norwalk, we moved here to have one of those attached garages, and I had no idea that if a tornado came through, I would not be able to rebuild what was there original. I would think that something should be done for grandfathering.
So
Those were your original.
the way the code works is, as long as it's less than 50% knocked down, you can build it back per what it was done under the old code. If
It's hard to
if it's gone
negotiate
completely,
tornadoes.
yep. So what we did in the Founders District is that we have zoning specifically for the Founders District that's meant to accommodate that. And so it has lesser setbacks for garages and other accessory uses. At that point in time, we had just focused on the Founders District. My brief review of that area, it does seem like an area where that would be applicable as well. That's what my recommendation would be on how to address it, would be to go through that. We would have to do a little bit bigger than just one person requesting that. We'd want to reach out to the other residents and inform them that we were considering making that change and ask for input.
So the motion would be to initiate or have council initiate a zoning amendment.
Tonight's motion will be good.
No, aren't we on
Well,
future
no, that's,
agenda items? This is just a motion to put it on the agenda in the future.
that's what we're going to talk about is the initiation of a zoning
Yeah, it'd
amendment.
be an initiation.
Right.
I'll second.
Okay, so that was Baker and Minneke. Okay, so motion by Baker, second by Minneke. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, motion carries. Anything else? Item 8. Item 8 is council inquiries and staff updates. I'd like to remind everybody that this portion of the meeting is more informal. You may hear some back and forth banter, general joking around. We believe that this can build camaraderie and cohesiveness between staff and council. So we'll start with Jen.
Don't have anything?
Go ahead.
No.
George.
Nope.
Ed?
I just want to comment a little bit, the incidents and stuff over the last week or so. And, we talk a lot about Norwalk Nice and people kind of know that our community is known for that. But I think that Norwalk Nice is really valuable to it. Probably one of the best things we got going. And I remember when I first came here as police chief, I was so surprised when I stopped somebody to write them a citation and they apologized to me for violating the ordinance. And, but it is, it's no, it's nice, we're nice to each other, right? And I think about the lack of humanity that I see sometimes out there right now, you know? And how mean we can be, especially on the internet, to each other. And, you know, I just would like to remind and encourage our residents to, especially if you're a parent or a grandparent, to discuss how important that is. Civility and reputation of community will be in Norwalk now. Makes it a better place to live.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyway, other than that, we spent a lot of money in, at our last meeting of, waste garbage.
Yeah.
And movement. But it was equipment that we needed and it came in under budget.
Okay.
And there's big money in garbage.
Yes.
And, we're looking at, adding a couple of more, areas to accommodate more garbage. And that should last about 20 years. So we'll see what happens, but there's a lot of shaping and liners that have to be done. Federal requirements that have to be met, so it's a pretty big deal. Anyway, that's everything that I've got, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Luke?
We've got 8 permits in August and 9 in July. I missed our July meeting to update you. So still trending about 2/3 of where we normally are permit wise. We did process the Callaway project for Hubble. That is their apartments and townhome project. So that'll boost us up a pretty good amount. Those are some big projects, but other than that, just your normal single family home building does seem to continue to lag behind a bit from previous years.
From what I'm hearing, that's metro wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dental was ready for a change of rates.
Yep, I think you're right. Carrie, what do you got?
Nothing tonight.
All right, thank you. Wayne?
Nothing.
Jeremy?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Tony?
No, sir.
Chief?
I'll pass.
Okay, who else is online? We'll go to Shanice.
Nothing.
Nothing. Lindsay?
Nothing.
Jason?
I was at MPO tonight. We had a really nice presentation by the two Lukes, and they actually, the people there appreciated knowing what we are thinking about for the future. So I was surprised by that. It was like, thank you for the transparency of what you want to do. So that was great. Second, I continue to think a lot about something over Highway 28. Or under Highway 28 or whatever. There's more and more traffic, there's more and more amenities. I think about being creative with parking, bike stuff. So, you know, I realize that project will be hugely expensive, but it strikes me as important.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Thank you. Jackie?
Nothing.
Luke?
Apologize, but I do have a few items. First, that is a pending project in the CIP.
Oh,
But at least it shows up as something. So during budget time is a good time to push, try to push for a project like that to get on our active list. Thank you. Thanks for noting on the MPO presentation. Luke Paris did a great job. He led us on that. Mayor, I would assume you'd bring something up about our meeting with Representative Fett that went well. And then the main thing I want to discuss, we had 59 applicants for our Park and Rec Director.
All right.
That has closed, and Carrie did a great job of starting to narrow down that list. And I will tell you, it was very challenging narrow it down to 8 applicants to interview. Anytime you have 2 applicants that qualify for a job and you have 2 to choose from, that's a great sign. We were able to narrow it down to 8 people that I believe are very qualified and will be great to interview. And I think we're doing those next week, Carrie, if I'm thinking of my timing right. So that's going along great. That says a lot for Norwalk and our growth and the excitement for people to want to be a part of the community. That's all I have.
Okay, great. I got a couple items too. Just to let you know, you'll probably seen it in the media, or it will be in the media, that the studies will go before a judge on Monday. We anticipate a guilty plea and long prison sentence for both. Related to that, the the Safe Haven baby box is being installed and that is moving forward. We expect to have a dedication for the Safe Haven baby box probably by the end of October. Yeah, the other day we met with Representative Samantha Fett, had a great conversation, flowed really well. She seems to understand the property tax issues or have a much better understanding of the property tax issues around. So I think that discussion was very, very positive. And I understand local control and I think is in favor of local control. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this session. And then, yeah. Then yesterday I was able to be on a panel of mayors at the Greater Des Moines Partnership Summit, talking about regionalization. That went very well as well. That was a lot of fun to do.
Good.
So, yeah. That's all I have. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Cool, seconded by Brown. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. And we are adjourned at 7:19 PM.